to manifest what you're really here for. And somebody like me the head spins, the eyes rolls, and go, why? Yesterday I did a consultation with a lovely woman up in New Jersey whose 14-year-old daughter had tried to take her life, apparently, in August. And oddly, we certainly addressed the feng shui of this young lady's bedroom to change the feng shui. And incidentally, one of the tips that I gave is to grid the child's bed with crystals. And again, if you want to know how to do that, you either call in right now at 321-806-3159 and you say, Elaine, what the heck are you talking about? Gridding someone's mattress. Or you're going to send me an email, purpleportal777@gmail.com. Because I want to stay with what I'm doing here to get through this. But at any rate, as we spoke of this young girl, it seems that naturally you could only figure the circumstances that would lead to such a disaster. She has a daddy who's not taking any accountability as daddy. He's started a second family in another state. He could care less about this poor, beautiful little child. And everything else is going wrong. I can remember 14, quite frankly. I thought everything was wrong all the time. That's part of the everything changing. The body's changing. Your mind is changing. Everything's changing. So this dear child thought she'd put an end to the changes. And as the conversation went on, something made me ask, how's her skin? Now, some young teenagers, still have beautiful skin, not a pimple in sight. Well, the mother kind of gasped and said, she's been breaking out for months. Well, the skin is on the same meridian as lungs, and lungs have to do with sadness. So this dear child is trying to go forward and walk on, but she can't let go of the sadness. So it can't happen. She can't walk on. And the solution, which now this was given to me during the consultation. I actually heard this and was told to give this to her. The solution was very easy. I asked the mommy, does she like to dance? Like ballet and, this modern dance where you're really expressing yourself. The mother simply said, she's been asking to take dance lessons for many months. I'm like, duh, our children know. So then the mommy said, well, couldn't she take like Pilates or yoga? I'm like, no. The cure is get it moving. She doesn't need any contemplative thing. That stuff is not for everybody. So there's certain stuff that's for you. Okay, so get your journals out, and here's what I strongly encourage you to think about. Because these things will facilitate consciousness raising. And that's part of why you're in a body, to raise your consciousness. So number one, and it doesn't have to be like you're writing Dear Abby, and it goes on and on forever. Keep it short and sweet. Life is short and sweet these days. If you haven't noticed, it seems life is like sound bites. So write down your idea of good. Today, what's your idea of good? Last night, my idea of good was a dish of chocolate chip ice cream. That was my idea of good then. Today, not so much. But you get the point of it. It could be anything. Your idea of good today could be a peace walk. I don't care what it is, but be honest and authentic. Number two, on a day where there's a new moon, would you please take a look at your deepest wishes? What do you want? And a wish is not quite an intention, but it's aligned with it. So take a look at An intention is like, I intend to drive safely home this afternoon. I intend that the traffic moves effortlessly. I intend that, I don't know. You get the point. I'm out of intentions, because you want to really be into yourself. Getting into yourself is the beginning of celebrating yourself, which once again is the Sagittarian energy. Sagittarian is born to celebrate. And if today's the new moon in it, we got to pull up our celebration britches and get going here. Another thing in your journal. Today, what are you grateful for? Your gratitude. It could be one thing. You don't need a whole laundry list. You don't have to consult Oprah's list of gratitudes. Get your list of gratitudes. Your list of gratitudes are important for you. Oprah's are not. Another thing. Begin. Now, you can't do this today because it's day one, but by tomorrow you could. Write down what is healed and transformed as a result of steps 1, 2, and 3. Because once the healing and the transformations begin to happen, your vision changes. Your vision for your future self, it actually is adjusted. Now, it's adjusted inwardly by you, for you, from you, but it's really darn cool. And I hope many of you who are listening have the vision of the symbol of Sagittarian. It's the archer on the horse with the arrow pointed to the heavens. Sagittarians they're the ones who hold visions for the planet. So again, where's your Sagittarian? How and where are you going to hold the vision? For many of you, quite frankly, I suspect that whatever has transpired over the last 9 years, that vision is pretty much concluded. Start a new vision. It's not the vision was wrong. It's just that if you have a vision to have a Bentley as your next automobile, and then you materialize the Bentley, well, the vision's complete. You take that off your vision board. You got it. Now you put up the jet plane that you want. So your visions change. Don't keep looking back on your old visions. It's kind of truly done that, been there, and you have the T-shirt. So go on. So new moon energy, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Oh, I want you to be able to connect with changing your viewpoint, your philosophical beliefs. Most of you, quite frankly, they're in a box. Take them out of the box, throw them away, air them out, do whatever you want, but change your change your philosophy. Mostly from what I gather, listening to people, philosophies are very narrow, short-sighted, judgmental, and based on old religious ideology that, kind of like chewing yesterday's meat, spit it out. It's also the time to experiment with your intuition. Trust it. And don't make it happen, but, you've all had the experience of you're thinking of Susie Q, and the phone rings on Q, and it's Susie Q. So, and you should tell her, oh, darn it, I was actually just thinking of you. Don't make it up. Don't be pretending. Don't be extravagant and stretching the truth, because Sagittarian can do that. Simply, if it's yes, it's yes. If I was thinking of you, I was thinking of you. This energy is also connected with travel. I don't know about you, but in the past week, my brain is so filled with travel plans. I'm a buzz. I could go anywhere. Give me a ticket and I'm there. It's also energy filled with publishing. So those of you who are wanting to publish something, anything, music, a book, do it. It's time. It's associated with higher education. Some of you might actually be getting the call to start looking at going back to school. It could be getting your GED. It could be it's time to finish those college credits, get a master's degree, get a PhD. But if you're getting that information within yourself, honor it. And it's also about marketing. So that marketing to me says, would you please step up and out and tell who you are? Now, obviously, while we're still under this little oppression thing, give it a few more days. But you're going to know when to sing your song. The shadow side of the Sag energy is actually, the Sag energy can be too opinionated or too dogmatic. So these are the ones that are going to go they're going to become a missionary. They're going to have that Bible at your front door and very zoned in to it's my way. I'm saved my way, and if you're not doing it my way, you're not saved. So they can get a little bit off kilter that way. Sag energy can over-exaggerate. And the over-exaggeration can come in lots of ways. It can come with over-exaggerating the story. So, yeah, they caught a 6-inch fish, and of course it's 26 inches in the story. But they can over-exaggerate in estimating what they can eat or drink. It's such a jovial sign that I can eat, a 12-pound something, when actually, And they can also get the little tummy because of it. Because it's the sign of truth, the downside is they can be extraordinarily blunt. So they bring us to a hurtful place. They don't have to be hurtful. Blunt is generally blunt harms. And they can be overconfident. Confidence, like anything else, has to be balanced. Most of the world is underconfident from what I see, but the Sag energy can be grotesquely overconfident. And you know where you see a lot of that? You actually see a lot of that in our government officials. There's a lot of Sag energy run amok because originally the officials had a vision, the Sagittarian vision, and then with overconfidence and exaggeration, it's become unpleasant, to say the least, inauthentic, and downright deceptive at worst. So there's a lot to think about with this new moon, and you can do it. It's a fun cycle. It's a good thing. It gives me a sense of, there's hope. There's hope. Also today, we've got, I love this kind of day. Now, this is my galactic stuff. I am always so excited with this. There's two things happening galactically. One is we're entering the third week of the overtone energy. I know that doesn't mean much. However, it excites the heck out of me. So the third week has to do with patience transforming your conduct. So we're going to need a heck of a lot of patience all week. And people will try your patience, I guarantee. So that's part of it. And then the overtone energy has to do with coming from your true command center, that real deep center of silence within you, and allowing that to radiate out. And keep your balance with it all. So there's a whole lot about balance and centering the mind in stillness and centering the heart in love. It's a tricky combination because the mind wants to usurp the heart. The mind actually does not want the heart to love. And that's the dangdest thing. And the mind is simply a tool